Hi, everyone. So, today we're going to take a deeper look at detaching ourselves from outcomes, which I originally shared back on December 5th. So, if you remember, when we attach ourselves to any kind of outcome, we might also be limiting our actions and our forward movement through life and through our goals. So, attaching ourselves to an outcome, it can look like overanalyzing or procrastinating any decision or action step. And it can also create the space for you to come up with all of those worst case scenarios rather than trusting yourself, knowing your self worth, taking a chance on yourself, and just doing it to move forward. Now, I know for my skeptical folks out there and my highly intelligent folks that yes, there are some cases in life where considering the worst case scenario can be beneficial. And for you folks, I also have you consider your entire life experience and then think of what percentage of your life has been incredibly motivating, positive, and productive when you considered all of those worst case scenarios, right? And so that can mean also when you're considering those worst case scenarios, that can mean a lot of worry, a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of being on the defense. So really, really think about that. Of all the experiences in your life, how many of them have been incredibly motivating, positive, and productive when you've considered those worst case scenarios, right? And if I had to take a guess, I would choose very few, right? I would guess very few. And in fact, I would also take a guess that the majority of your lives are pretty good, because it's very rare when anyone has to really consider the worst case scenario to move through a decision in their life. So here's where I'm going to go with this today. So first, detaching yourself from any outcome, again, means letting go of how things will happen or may turn out, right? Because ultimately, no one knows how things will happen or how things will turn out until they turn out. So we can hope, we can wish, we can pray, yet we'll never know how anything turns out until it turns out. And how I empower and inspire myself and my clients is to take a completely different approach. Same energy, same decisions, same scenarios. But rather than focusing on the outcome, we instead focus on doing our best. And how we do our best is to focus on the results that we want instead. So I'm going to let that settle in for a bit. So rather than focusing on the worst case scenarios, like, oh my God, what about this? What about that? What about this? Or this could go wrong and yada, yada. Instead, focusing on doing our best and really focusing on the results that we do want. Because when you focus that same energy, right? We're going to make the same decision, same scenario. When you focus that same energy and effort on the results that you do want, rather than an outcome that you have no idea is going to happen or not, you are able to create your journey rather than living in worry, doubt, stress, fear, on the defense. So you're able to create the path to walk down, which is so much more empowering, so much more focused, and most likely equipped with the results that you do want. So let's think about it this way. Let's go through an example of going on the interview for the job of your dreams. And for my public figures out there, let's just say you're going to interview for the next big gig that you want. So here's how it might play out if you were to focus on the outcomes and attach yourself to the outcomes. So you might think or say these things to yourself or aloud, such as, I hope I give a smart answer. I hope I seem smart, or I hope I give the answers that they're looking for. And what if I'm not as prepared as I should be? And what if this were to happen? Or what if this comes up? What if they ask me this? What if they want me to do that? What if they don't like me? And what if I ask for too much or not enough, right? So just saying those things out loud, those things are starting to stress me out just sitting here recording my video. Because can you feel how focusing on an outcome could really, really limit you from what that opportunity is? And to really focus on all those outcomes, and that's just a short list. And those things don't even exist. And ultimately, those things are literally putting you down. So if you were to think about, am I smart enough? Am I good enough? Am I asking for enough? Am I asking for too much? It's like you're boxing yourself out in a way, because ultimately you don't know. They don't even know what's going to happen in this interview. They're coming in with their half of the equation. You're coming in with yours. So here's how that same scenario can play out if you were to focus on the results you want instead. So that first starts with preparation, right? Being prepared for any of these decisions or scenarios that you're going into. And again, I know a lot of people out there think things will fall into their lap. Well, good for you. For the rest of us, we want to be prepared. And by being prepared, I mean writing this stuff down, because preparing, I know a lot of us are like, I'm sharp, I'm quick, like I got it all up here. But really, if you're going in focusing on the results you want, have them written down. And, you don't always have to take your plan with you, because this may not be an interview. This may be a conversation with somebody. This may be you making a decision on an investment, or you taking a chance on yourself in some other way, shape, or form. So writing down, so we'll go back to that interview example, and writing things down and being prepared and focusing on the results you do want might look like, I'm going to arrive 20 minutes early before this interview. Or I'm going to smile and say hi to everyone from the moment I open the door of that building until I sit down in that interview. It could also look like I am going to have 5 questions prepared for each person that's going to interview me. And these are the top 10 qualities that I want to share with this person to let them know that I am right for this job. And it could also be, I want to demonstrate my listening skills. So how could I demonstrate that? Maybe I take notes. Maybe I say back what the person says to me and state the question before I answer it. And maybe it's something as simple as, I want to know how and when they are following up with candidates for the next step or for the final offer, right? I work with a lot of people who go through the interviewing process, whether it's for a job or a gig. And that's one of the things they walk away with attaching to so firmly is, what if I don't get it? What if I don't get it? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, did you ask? Did you ask how they were going to evaluate and when the evaluation process was going to happen, or how long it was going to take? So doesn't that list feel more empowering and feel like a strategy and keeping you focused rather than focusing on that first list of examples? So when it comes to your goal, or your next big goal, again, it doesn't have to be an interview. How can you focus on the results that you want rather than all of the possible outcomes that could happen that none of us know will happen, right? Because when you are focusing on the results that you want, this is how you build your trust, your intuition, your self-worth, and it is how you will continue moving your life and your goals forward. So I'm curious, how does this feel? How does focusing on the results that you want feel instead of focusing on outcomes that you don't even know are going to happen? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to reading them. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.